Hey Aquarius, and welcome to October. If this is your first time here, I'm Jaylynn Alexis, and we're going to take a walk through the month of October, okay? The time of this reading is the 28th. It likely will get posted late this evening or on the 29th. But today, your sign with Saturn trines Mars and Gemini. What this means for you is a lot of willpower and a lot of fuel and direction in a new way. Okay, October is going to move really quick. This Queen of Earth was pulled for you in the Libra season astrology breakdown. And if you weren't there for that, I will read that because this is pretty much where the reading's going to stem from. Queen of Earth is thoughtful, creative, warm, sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. This may not... I feel like some of you might be sort of giggling right now. This may not be the theme that you're on. You may actually be the polar opposite of that right now, but we're going to talk about it. Okay. I already shuffled because this old canvas does not sound very nice when I shuffle the cards on it. So a lot's going on in your subconscious right now, and it has been for a while. You're going to notice a change of speed in the events occurring around you. Yes, very quickly. So the King of Wands, if this were a normal tarot deck here with the Queen of Earth, this would be the Queen of Pentacles. I see, and here we have the page on the bottom. I see some of you already moving in a new direction. Some of you are working very diligently to build some type of career up for yourself so that you have security for the future. And I wouldn't advise you otherwise. Okay? I think that there is great accomplishment with the speed if you can stay on top of everything this month. That's the trick. It's a balancing act during Libra season, especially for you right now, because you do have so much. You have Pluto, especially if you're Aquarius rising, you have Pluto retrograde in your 12th house. So when the 8th comes around and Pluto sits direct, stations and moves direct, you're going to want to use the 8th as the 8th of October as sort of a finish line for what you have to accomplish, not even emotionally, but what you have to accomplish all around. Okay, let's talk about this. So what did we do during Virgo season? Were we diligent? Were we organized? Did we take the time to do all those financial things that we knew we needed to clean up? Or did we let the world distract us? Okay, it's a balancing act between your inner and external worlds, and there is a difference. There's quite the difference, and the plunge that you take when you enter this hermit stage. Let me keep shuffling. I see you plunging into a lot of self-work, maybe a little bit of isolation this month, and I want to talk about that mostly because of what happens after this Pluto retrograde. The day after, Sunday the 9th of October, you have a full moon in your 3rd house. It's your communications. So with this full moon being in Aries, you're going to want to assume. I see you assuming a position. I see you assuming authority, not necessarily in a dictatorship type of manner, but I see you having potential for a very quiet power. This is a lot of big energy. Okay. I do see a lot of you putting the pieces together this month of something that feels unfinished. And this can be in your external or internal world, okay? Take it as it applies. If you want a more in-depth reading on your situation, there's a link below for personal readings. So, Aquarius, what else is going on? Your house of higher learning is illuminated, and I think that's that fuel that I was talking about in the beginning. I think you're very motivated towards something better for yourself. Let's see. And so if there's any day that I would be careful, I mean, there's a few days, but definitely around this full moon, because Pluto retrograde can bring up things. Yes, the full moon for sure. 10 of Cups. Pluto retrograde can, the Queen of Wands. It has the potential to boost you into almost like a glitch into this 10 of Cups energy. When I say that these transits are serious, it's because very long cycles have ended this year, and that means new cycles are beginning also. Some of them for 20 years, some of them for 12 years, okay? And I have no doubt of your ability to problem solve. And so, honestly, Aquarius, I see you handling this very well. I see you pretty focused on your goal. I see you completing a goal with the 10. I mean, you have the 9 and the 3. That's very, very powerful. Let's see what comes out for this full moon. Anything for Aquarius? Yes, be about your money right now. This is a green light for I say green light, but you know, this Hermit card is a pause and a going deep within, you know, and you have to be in a certain mental place for that. So I do see a little bit of contradiction, but the way it materializes will be quicker than usual. Okay, you might make up your mind about something and the next day start seeing results. You know, so far this is really positive. I keep getting this message about the full moon, though. I think you guys are taking the right actions already. And let me see. What do they need to know? There will be an extended to this also. And we'll get a little more deeper into like the relationship stuff and into the end of the month. This month will move quickly, but so much is going to happen. And okay, Mercury retrograde ends on the 2nd of October. I don't know what just happened. Every time I do the air signs, I like choke on my breath. It's so crazy. Okay. Definitely opportunities to let go and fill that empty space with something very fresh and very new, and something that replenishes you emotionally regularly. Okay, it's not something that drains you, because what is this about? This is about balance, right? This month of Libra, this month of October, and again, I'm going to say just around the full moon, I really think things can tip easily, these scales, okay? You have the 5 of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the 9 of Cups. For some of you, this means walking away from a situation that made you unhappy, that drained you, and reaping twice the benefits from having taken that action. Here we have the King of Cups also. Yeah, you're being pulled strongly into a direction that's emotionally fulfilling for you. Let me see. I want to ask, is there anything? Oh. Okay. Yes. So one thing to watch out for. Of course, the Justice comes out. One thing to watch out for is don't equate the material possessions, the material gain, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't confuse that for your emotional fulfillment, because this comes and goes. This doesn't have to be drained as much as it has. There's definitely some type of relationship or work situation. It could be either one. It could be both for you, Aquarius. It's a lot of relationship energies during Libra season, right? It's a lot of opportunity also to get distracted today. And I don't think I need to remind you of that. I think so far you're already faced in the right direction. I think it's a matter of moving in these new ways, because you have had a lot of major changes in the past year, this year alone, up to the past couple years. But like lifestyle changes, like whole different type of way of living, right? And I think you're making the most of that knowledge. The only thing is, when we're working with the subconscious, I'm sorry, I have to move. When we're working with the subconscious and there's so much coming up that maybe we didn't know was there, we might not know where to place it, because, with a new venture, that wheel that life puts us on, we don't know the subconscious stuff until we know. Does that make sense? You don't know it's there until it shows itself, or you do some very deep shaman dream walking, okay? And even then, it's more of a pace, okay? That's what I'm seeing is Aquarius, you know, taking the training wheels off. I'm sorry, I don't have a more adult example for you, but I see you taking the training wheels off and picking up speed. So those thoughts, those emotions, those draining situations that you might be thinking a lot about, whereas yes, it's pushing you and fueling you in a new direction, in a much, much better direction. It's not something you want to really base all of this beautiful energy off of. It's not, oh, well, you know, this happened and now I'm this because, like, yeah, that's the case, but there's a specific thing that defines the difference in that. So this should not be your foundation. I said I wasn't going to say should, but I said it. You don't want this as a foundation. Okay, so yes, it happened, that things happened, you did what you did, and you're moving towards something better. But make sure that by the 22nd, you sort of have all of this wrapped up. Okay, there are a lot of, you know, legal things are a theme. I'll say that in Libra season. Legalities, right and wrong. There's a lot of argumentative situations. Okay, you're an air sign. I don't need to explain that too much. But you're going to see the law of balance in play in real life during the month of October. And I think you can really have almost anything that you want and then continue practicing maintaining that, because it's one thing to get what you want, but if you cannot maintain it, and that's what I'm saying with the tricycle, near the little training wheel analogy, is one thing to get what you want, but if you lose it right afterwards, you know, I don't even want to finish that because I don't want to manifest that for you. You know what I'm saying? So let this sort of be like a new thing. Your new movement, the direction you're moving, like really cut this out, because really a lot of this should have been cut out in Virgo season. But communication hasn't been the best, and Mercury is in retrograde until the 2nd. We're really having some wild dimensional shifts right now, and things that have never happened before are happening. So if you're one of those see it to believe it Aquarius, this would be the month to see stuff happen and really practice or just test new ideas out. Look, by the time Scorpio gets here on the 24th, the 23rd, one of those days, Venus and the Sun will both be in Scorpio. I want you to be in a position that you're going to be comfortable in for a good while. Okay, and this is Mars in Gemini on the 30th of October. Let me see. That is your house of pleasure. And so you really, yeah, kind of get to your coveted ideals. And I say that from the heart. Like, I really, truly get your ideals sorted out early this month so you can practice maintaining them by the time Scorpio is here. And before Saturn retrograde ends, because Saturn will be checking. Saturn will absolutely be roll calling, and you want to be present. Okay, let's get into the extended. We'll talk a little bit more about relationships. We'll talk about what this Hermit really involves. We'll talk about work. But yeah, I think this was a pretty good reading. Let me see one more for anyone watching right now. Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands again. Sorry, I try not to lower my voice like that. It's a bad habit. I'm working on it. Oh, shit. All right, it's time for me to do the extended, but we'll talk about this Seven of Pentacles and Queen of Wands in the extended right now.